Yeah.
Welcome to the Wise Take DFS podcast for February 10th, 2018. I'm your host, Patio Joe. You can follow me on Twitter, Patio Joe Ref. And I'm joined here tonight by one of the Wise Take regulars. It's Friday night here in SoCal. It's me and it's Johnny hanging out at the patio at GDaddy80. You can follow him on Twitter. What's going on, Johnny? How you doing tonight?
I'm all right. Didn't get burned tonight. Nothing burned me, so it was okay.
Yeah.
There was
no late swaps. There was no leaks in the
ceiling.
The ceiling or anything.
Yeah.
Tonight. So no late scratches, as they call it. So yes, I know everybody's wondering where is. Obviously, the first thing is where's Cash? Okay, it's Friday night. Cash is a little bit indisposed. He's actually working on some NASCAR stuff right now. He's doing some stuff for the NASCAR Nation. So me and Johnny, we're going to be hanging out, and this is what we're going to do tonight, guys. We're going to be going game by game because it's only a 6-game slate. Johnny's going to go by game for both DraftKings and then for FanDuel. So we got you covered, and then we'll answer some questions at the end. Once again, I am going to be listening intently, and I'm going to have a lineup on FanDuel ready for him as we're ending it so he can grade it and then see if that happens. One of these days, I'm just going to do this lineup and put it in and not even think about it and just see how I'm always a big believer. Sometimes you can, paralysis by overanalysis. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It's sometimes the first look is sometimes your best. It's the most basic before you even dive in. You're like, God, why didn't I just stay with the first thing I thought of?
I think the only reason that we change our lineups a lot too is with the news and with basketball. You never know, and with all these trades that just happened, like the different roles that we're gonna have, we're not sure yet. So yeah, we're waiting on some news. That's the hardest part of it. I agree with you. I think with baseball, that's what I typically do. I'll set my lineups, and I'm pretty good the night before. It's just basketball is a little tricky with the news.
Yeah, but I mean, though baseball is the same thing again. You can always get that guy that pops up and is leading off at 2K on FanDuel, and you're just there's my cash game center fielder or my cash game catcher because he's leading off against a lefty or whatever, and then you play him. But that's baseball. Believe it or not, guys, it's only about 47 days away till opening day. All right, and be sure to check out Cam's articles. He's every week or every day. He's putting out something for 50 days. So I think he did the Yankees today and the Red Sox yesterday and the Orioles. So he's on the AL East. They always start with the East and then they move out West. Anyways, let's see. Why don't we just get into it? Why not? Let's just get into this slate, the 6-game slate. Let's start off. We got a lot of I was looking. We have quite a few back-to-backs, if I'm not mistaken. Am I right?
Yeah, there's a couple.
How do you attack back-to-backs? Do you really care about it? Is it just something that you file, something to look about? Some guys it affects more.
It's definitely going to affect the guys that are pure shooters, like the guys that if you're a guy you're an all-around player, I'm not really worried about. But if you're just strictly a shooter, I'm more worried about that person. I'm also worried about defense a little bit too. Typically that's where the tiredness comes in, is on the defense. The worst thing you want to do is when you're tired, you want to sit there and defend somebody. So you can still see the offense doesn't really struggle that much, but with shooters, their legs it goes out, and that's typically where it suffers. So I don't if for instance, I'll give you a great example. JJ Redick, I really don't like to play him on back-to-backs because he's a shooter. He's not really a guy that's going to go to the rim a lot. So he's somebody that I would be typically afraid to play on a back-to-back if I was going to go anywhere.
Yeah. Yes. Somebody in the chat says, young dudes no, old dudes yes. Very simple.
That too. Sure.
Mm-hmm. All right. That being said, let's get into it. We got Big Dick Giannis traveling down to Orlando to take on the Orlando Magic. What you got?
Yeah, so the spread here is the Bucks. The Bucks are on the road, obviously, and they're -5, and the total here is 207.5. So, Orlando was off today. So they're rested up here. It's at home. Um, we'll go ahead and break this down here. I'll start on the Milwaukee side, and then we'll go over to the Bucks side. We'll start with the Milwaukee side, and then we'll go to the Orlando Magic side.
And right now you're talking about DraftKings, correct?
Yeah, and I'm going to start with DraftKings as well. So we'll start there, and then we'll move over to FanDuel. So first thing here on the Milwaukee side, you have Giannis Antetokounmpo, who's 10-8, Big D, whatever you want to call him. He's reasonably priced at 10-8. I think he's definitely in play tomorrow. You have Eric Bledsoe's definitely in play tomorrow at 7,100. I like those two guys a lot tomorrow. I'm not really Middleton's is in play. I would just prefer to go to either Giannis or Bledsoe for me. I think that Middleton's going to get a little bit of Simmons defense tomorrow. Simmons is a pretty good defender, so I'd probably go away from that one. And then going down a little bit further here, I think John Henson's an okay play at 5,300. Jabari Parker, he's been getting a little bit minutes uptake. If he gets another 5-minute boost here in minutes, he's definitely a play at 4,500. He's super cheap, so I think that he would definitely be a decent play. And don't sleep here on Sterling Brown. He's 3,700. He's really cheap. So I definitely would look into that play on the Bucks side. And then moving over to Orlando, there's definitely some great plays here tomorrow that are pretty inexpensive. You're not going to get DJ Augustine or Mac in the $3,000 range anymore. They definitely got a price increase, I should say. They're both $4,700 tomorrow. They're both still in play. But temper your expectation. You're not going to get a 10x again on them. You could probably get DJ Augustine at like 6 or 7x tomorrow. I definitely like him at his price more. And then Mac, he's probably going to be in the 5x range tomorrow. Is my opinion here. And I really like at this price here. I really like Bismack Biyombo. He's cheap. He's only 4,900. I definitely think he's firmly in play in this matchup. And let's see, with Elf Payton, gone, they're definitely playing better defense here. Augustine and Mac's defense is much better. So, just kind of throw that out there to the nation, just let anybody know that. And I think the last play I would really look at here is going to be Simmons. I think Evan Fournier is a little too expensive for me on DraftKings at 6,300. And I like the discount of $100 on Simmons over Hazonia. And he's shooting guard and small forward eligible, 5,400. And I just think that with Simmons and Augustine and Biyombo, they're going to have to really do a lot to keep this game close. So I think that you're going to have to, if you really want to get a lot into this game, I think a game stack is definitely in play. You can go take a couple guys from the Milwaukee side like Giannis and Bledsoe, and then take the cheaper guys in Orlando. I think that's going to be a very viable play. I think that that's going to be very popular tomorrow too. I think this game is going to be a stack game, and it's going to be highly owned.
All right.
And then I'll move over to
FanDuel. Here's a question. I mean, I'll try and maybe mix in a question so we can kind of switch it on to FanDuel. Like FanDuel, you got Giannis is the highest person on the board tomorrow. Basically, are you paying up for him tomorrow, or are you? Because the next guy is Durant, and Embiid I know is questionable. He's already been saying he's questionable, probably won't be playing. So it's like I feel like, is he just going to be way highly owned?
I'm now looking over here at FanDuel, and I'm not really looking at Giannis at all. 11.5. I mean, if he's my last guy in, maybe, but I mean, this whole Milwaukee team is just overpriced, in my opinion. You have Bledsoe, that's $8,000. Like I can't go there tomorrow. And then I think the play I would really look for on this team is going to be Chris Middleton, was probably the guy that's more in play for me due to price. He's 7,500. He's priced $500 less than Bledsoe, and he's $4,000 cheaper than Giannis. So I definitely would go towards the Middleton side here if I was going to take anybody from the Milwaukee side. And looking here down at the Orlando side, I mean, everybody's priced up here. I can't pay DJ Augustine for 62. He's just way too expensive. I'd prefer to go to Evan Fournier, $300 discount. So I would go with the Evan Fournier. I think that's an okay play in this game. And then Simmons, he's just too cheap at 5,500. I would really lean towards him.
Over
Bismack
Hazonia? You like Simmons over Hazonia?
I like Simmons over Hazonia. Yeah, I do. I just think he's a better player. He's going to start for sure. Hazonia sometimes will come off the bench. I just like Simmons. He's more of a category like stuffer for me. I can't play Bismack Biyombo tomorrow at 5,000. I like the price, but he's center eligible and center's too valuable tomorrow. And I'm sure there's going to be some guys that we like better that we could talk about here in a minute. I think Sheldon Mack, though, is definitely firmly in play here on the Orlando side at only $4,000. He didn't seem to get a price increase from his last performance. So if you're looking to punt somewhere and you really like this game, I would definitely go with Sheldon Mack here. I think he's in play. And don't sleep on Kem Birch here at 3,800 on FanDuel. That's a pretty decent price for him. And then you also have Sterling Brown down here at 3,600 for Milwaukee. So those guys are all viable. They're pretty cheap here. Early time, we're looking for value right now. So those guys are definitely in value in the value town area. That's going to help you build lineups. So I like those guys.
It seems to me, though, that like on FanDuel, there's nobody, you don't really like this game very much.
I don't like the pricing. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I
so you
really
can go other places, is what I'm saying. You could probably
absolutely. You're probably
this game if you want to.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can get bits and pieces. Like, I think Mac is a viable play at 4,000. He's definitely way more in play on FanDuel than DraftKings. And the correlation here is that, like, so what I always look at, the rule of thumb is that if they're priced less on FanDuel than they are on DraftKings, they're probably a really good play. So you have Max more on DraftKings, who's 4,700, and then you have him on FanDuel, that's 4,000. So I would lean to play him on FanDuel. So I'm looking to get my exposure to him tomorrow on FanDuel. That's typically what I would do. I'm looking for my price savings.
All right. Yeah, guys in the chat, Cash is not here tonight. As you can see, it's just me and Johnny. We're going over this 6-game slate. Cash is doing some NASCAR stuff right now. He's the hardest working man in DFS, so he's doing some things great for the nation, and he's probably enjoying his family too. It is a Friday night. I mean, the guy needs a little bit of a break. He needs to take a breather, you know. So, we got Johnny here, and hopefully I can keep you guys a little bit entertained. Anyway, so let's move on to the next game. We got the Clippers on a back-to-back going to Philly to take on the Sixers on a back-to-back also. So talk to me about this game, Johnny.
Yeah, so there currently is no spread for this game. Clippers actually played really well today. I was surprised that they actually won that game today. But it was a pretty good game. I liked it. Very, very active. Phillip Rivers looked really good today driving to the rim. So,
did you say Phillip Rivers?
I'm not Phillip, sorry. Rivers. I did say Phillip Rivers. That's really
Austin
bad.
Rivers?
Austin Rivers, yeah.
There you go.
At least Phillip Rivers is good, right? I don't know. I'm sure it's kind of bad. So Austin Rivers, he looked pretty good today going to the rim. Like, he looked pretty explosive with his Achilles. Like, he didn't look like he was hurting or anything like that. So I definitely think that he's going to become in play where you can find him cheaper on sites. So first thing here on the 76ers side, we have to really look out for Embiid tomorrow. I don't think he's going to play. He played today with a bad ankle, and he didn't get a lot of run because of the blowout. He did actually do really well fantasy-wise for the amount of minutes he played, but I think that on this back-to-back, they're going to give him off. If he sits tomorrow, this definitely puts Sark in play. He's only 6,700. He's a phenomenal play. And the great thing with Sark is he's a great rebounder, and he's also a stretch four. He can shoot the three-pointers, and there's nobody that the Clippers have that can really stay with him, that are going to go out there and guard him while he's shooting those threes. So I definitely like him tomorrow. So if Embiid's out, you want to get him in your lineups tomorrow for sure. I'm off of Redick tomorrow. He's 5,500. He's not expensive. I just don't really like jump shooters on back-to-backs. I think you can do better than that. And then I think Austin Rivers here on the Clippers side, you can definitely look at him at 4,900. I think he's a really good play here. He's pretty cheap. And then I think we can look at Tobias Harris a little bit here. Philly's just not really a really great rim protector. I think Tobias Harris is a pretty good play tomorrow. He's 6,800. I prefer Sark over him for $100 cheaper, but I definitely think he's in play. And then don't sleep on Lou Williams tomorrow. He's a slasher too. He's not just a shooter. I know his roles in the last couple of years, he's just been a shooter, but this guy does it all. He's $7,900 tomorrow. Philly's just not really good against slashers and against the wings, so I really, really like Lou Williams tomorrow on DraftKings. $7,800. You got a decrease, so look at him. And anybody that's asking about Ben Simmons, I don't think this is a Ben Simmons matchup. He's 8,500. He got a price increase today. I really don't like that. I think he's going to have to match up with Rivers, who's an okay defender, and the Clippers have been playing much better defense. Maybe he gets some Bradley defense as well tomorrow. So that's it for me on this. On the DK side, we'll move over to FanDuel really quick, and I'll take a look at this. Again, Joel Embiid, just be careful with him. DeAndre Jordan is priced pretty decent here on FanDuel. He's only 7,300. I think he's well priced here. I think there's definitely some room for him to do a little bit better there. So, he can definitely go 6x here. So I would definitely look at him in the tournaments tomorrow. And then Sark's priced up here on FanDuel, which is expected. He's 7,100. I think that he's definitely in play if Embiid's out for sure. And then Lou Williams is, for me right now, like he's a lock and load on FanDuel. He's only 6,800. He's super cheap here. I definitely like that play. Avery Bradley, he looks rejuvenated now that he's over the Clippers. He looks like he's back to playing his old defense. He's up to his old tricks today. He's only 4,600. I definitely think you can do worse than him. I think he's in play at 4,600. And then at point guard, Austin Rivers, 4,500. I just think he's way too cheap for his role on this team. As long as he's going to play over 25 minutes tomorrow, you should just lock him in. I think he's a good play.
Yeah, I mean, do you think he's going to play over 25 minutes? Because, he hasn't played at all, and then he plays 31 minutes tonight, and he's going to play again tomorrow. How does that work? Tell me. What do you think?
Yeah, Doc Rivers, that's what Doc Rivers does. Like when Blake Griffin came back from his first issue with his knee, they played him 36 minutes right away. And I did a show the night before with Cash, and I told him he was going to play all the minutes he can. And it's just Rivers, just how he does things. Like he wants you to come back 100%, and he's going to run you. He's going to run as many minutes as he can with you. So like Gallinari's been back from injury, he's been getting 30 minutes. So I think that he's going to get over 25 minutes tomorrow. Unless there's something that happens, there's a blowout or something that happens tomorrow. But I think at his price, though, he's priced to play like 25 to 27 minutes, and at 4,500, he should easily go over that price. So he's no problem tomorrow.
So rank these players on FanDuel who you would want, or would you just play them all three? Rivers, Williams, and Jordan. Who would you play all three, or would you only play two of them or one of them, or what would you do?
I would probably go. I think there's some better games out there though, so I would probably price with Rivers' price. I'd probably say Rivers 1, and then Lou Williams 2, and then DJ in this game 3. Okay. I don't know if I would stack more than 1 or 2 plays at all from this game in my lineups, just because there's a lot of goodness here with the Lakers and Dallas, and then the Denver Phoenix game today. So I think that this game is an okay play. Like I think I like some of the pieces better over there in the Milwaukee Orlando game on DraftKings, but on FanDuel I think I like some pieces due to pricing in this game better.
All right,
FanDuel. Yeah.
That makes sense. All right, go. Let's move on to the next game. We got Washington traveling down to Chi-Town to take on the Bulls. What you got?
Yes, we got Washington here. That's a 5-point favorite. The total here is 214.5. It's in Chicago. So I just got done watching the Chicago game. Butler and LaVine just look phenomenal going back and forth with each other. I was so wrong on LaVine last year. This kid can play. He's really impressed me this year. I think at the top here, we're going to look. A lot of guys are going to look at Bradley Beal. He's at $9,000 tomorrow against Chicago. It's a great matchup for him. I just think $9,000 is a lot to pay for him. So I think that if I was going to go anywhere on the Washington side, I would look for a little bit better value here. I'd probably skip him. I would maybe look at Otto Porter. He's a little expensive on DraftKings, but he can definitely get there. Markieff Morris, he has a questionable tag tomorrow. I like his price at 5,900. So depending on if he's going to play tomorrow or not, he's definitely in play at his price in this matchup. I think it's a good matchup. If he doesn't play, you can definitely look at Kelly Oubre Jr. at 4,500. I think he's in play. And then even like a Mike Scott coming off the bench at 3,700. I definitely like those plays. Looking at the Chicago side, I think Zach LaVine is a fine play tomorrow at 6,400. I'm a little worried about Marketing tomorrow with the back-to-back as a shooter, so I'd probably stay away from him. I don't really like Portis's price at 6,000, so I would stay away from him. I think you could play Justin Holiday at 48 tomorrow. He's just too cheap. I like that price a lot, so I definitely think you can go there. And I don't think I want to mess with anything else there, so I think that's it. That's where I would go there on DraftKings.
All right, I just got a text here from Paulie saying Zach LaVine's already been ruled out tomorrow. So
really,
yeah, that's what Paulie's saying. So
okay.
Don't play Zach LaVine.
No Zach LaVine tomorrow. Cross them off the list. So then that's just going to open up for guys like Denzel Washington.
Mm-hmm. Bobby Portis?
No, Bobby Portis at 6,000 on DraftKings. He's too expensive. It's going to open up for more for Justin Holiday, Grant. He's definitely going to be in play, and I think Valentine will be in play tomorrow at 49. So those are the guys you want to look at. I would say tomorrow, but Portis at 6,000, he's just too expensive.
Mm-hmm. All right, move on to FanDuel. Do you like this game? Are we crossing this off? What are we doing?
Look, now with the Zach LaVine news out, I can really fade this game. I don't think this game's going to stay close without Zach LaVine, to be honest with you. They have Chris Dunn out and Zach LaVine. Knowing that news now, I'd probably run away from this game. Especially on FanDuel, I don't see any tremendous values where I have to play. I mean, you have Marketing at 6,700. I don't really want that on a back-to-back. Bobby Portis 6,500. He's just too expensive. Jerian Grant at 5,800. I think we can definitely do better today. I think the only guy that interests me just by price is going to be Denzel Valentine at 4,900. I mean, he's priced pretty good. And then I would even look at Gortat here at 4,700. I just don't know if I can do it at the center spot on FanDuel, but he's priced really well. Yeah, for me, I think knowing that again that LaVine news, I think I'm just gonna fade this game.
All right.
In general, that's not a bad strategy tomorrow.
Yeah.
So basically, I would just play this as a 5-game slate instead of a 6-game slate.
All right, and you already said Milwaukee Orlando is not even that good either. So because we have a few games coming up that you really like.
Yeah, so Milwaukee Orlando game, there's pieces I like. So again, Mac was really good on FanDuel. $4,000 is cheap for him. He's going to get over 25 minutes, so he definitely can exceed that value. Mm-hmm. On DraftKings, though, it's a little bit different. They're Milwaukee's all priced up on FanDuel, but not on DraftKings. So I think Milwaukee's way more in play on DraftKings. And there's a couple pieces on Orlando. We can go back over my favorite plays at the end of the show if we want as well. So we'll do that. So let's move over to the San Antonio.
Yeah, next game we got. No, I got. We can do. If we want to do San Antonio Golden State, let's go there.
You want to go there? Okay. Yeah. All right. So San Antonio Golden State. This total looks really, really suspicious tomorrow. It's a Golden State favored by 11 at home. San Antonio's it's a 218 total. So this really tells me that somebody's going to sit tomorrow. I've been fading Golden State lately, just ever since that tweet I read about Golden State's players are just really, really tired. They're fatigued mentally and physically. They're tired of each other. They want to get, they need to get a break from each other and all these things. So you can definitely see it. They haven't been playing well. They've been just losing games lately. So it's definitely not a spot that I'm really looking to target at the prices that these players are. And again, when I see this total at 11, against San Antonio. Like, it really scares me that San Antonio is gonna pop somebody tomorrow. So for me, I would just we'll go over it, but I would just be very careful. You might see a guy like LMA get popped tomorrow. We already know DeJounte Murray's not going to play tomorrow, so you might get LMA popped, or maybe Pau Gasol or something like that. So just be really, really careful with this game tomorrow. I think, if you're looking at the Golden State side, though, on DraftKings, Kevin Durant's priced okay. He's 9,600. I don't think he's overpriced. I think he's priced where he needs to be at. I don't think there's any discount on that, though. Same thing with Curry. I think Curry's 95. I don't think there's any kind of a discount there. So it's not. They're just definitely priced accordingly. I think the one guy out of the three bigs here, I think that Green's underpriced at 76. I think that, you have a little wiggle room with him. So if you think this game's going to stay close and if you want to play him, he would be my preferred play of the big three there. And then, man, this is just some sloppy game here. I mean, you have Tony Parker out tomorrow. I guess, on the San Antonio side, you really got to give a look at Patty Mills tomorrow. With Parker being out and Murray being out tomorrow, I definitely think you want to look at him tomorrow. Let's see what his price is. He's 3,800 on DraftKings, so I think that you definitely got to take a look at him. And then even Ginobili at 3,900. I mean, they're both going to have to play a lot of minutes. And then Kyle Anderson's an okay play at 4,600. So I'm really afraid seeing that total with the Golden State side and then the Spurs side. There is some great value here. So we really want to wait to hear any news to firm up our plays here. But if we get news that no one's going to sit from San Antonio, definitely look again at Mills, Ginobili, and Anderson for sure. I think LMA is priced accordingly, so I wouldn't go there if he does play.
All right. And let's move on to FanDuel.
Yeah, so on FanDuel, you have the same thing. You have Kevin Durant here at the top. He's 10.5. He's kind of expensive. I think Curry's price where he should be at 96, so that's fine. LMA is way too expensive at 8,800. I would definitely prefer to go to Draymond Green, I guess, tomorrow. I think where I'm looking at this at the bottom, I'm really looking at the plays like Kyle Anderson, Patty Mills at 4,300, and then Ginobili at 41. I think those are my preferred plays. Maybe you can talk me into like a Bertans here at 37. He's been getting a start here and there lately. So I think that's where I would go. I think that you would really I just don't really like a lot of the Golden State side at the pricing and the spread here. So I really want to wait till the news here to firm things up. But again, for me, it would just really be Kyle Anderson, Mills, and Ginobili, and then maybe Draymond Green on the Golden State side.
All right. Nice. All right, let's move on to Lake Show, traveling to Dallas to take on Dirk and the Mavs.
So, yeah, unfortunately, we don't have a total here right now. But I really like this game. I like both sides of it. Like, Lakers aren't blowing anybody out. Dallas isn't going to blow anybody out. I think this game's going to stay close. I like it better that it is in Dallas. That way it stays even closer, and Dallas will probably be in the game the whole way. This is going to be the IT2 game here. He's 5,600.
The debut.
Yes, his debut.
IT2 and what, Fry too, right?
Yeah, I don't think that Channing Frye. I think they're going to.
Lopez is still the center, right?
Yeah, so this is going to be IT2. Like, I think that he's just going to show the world like what he's got or what he doesn't got. I know he's still coming off of his injury. He's only 5,600. So on the Lakers side, like, I think IT2 is firmly in play tomorrow. I definitely think you got to look at him. I think, looking at center, looking at Brook Lopez, he's going to have to get minutes now. Larry Nance is out. It's really him and Randall. They got Zubac in the back. They don't really want to play a lot of minutes. I think that Brook Lopez is going to get over 25 minutes tomorrow against Dallas, 5,200. I think if you're looking in this game, I think Brook Lopez is definitely a viable play at 5,200. I definitely would go there tomorrow for sure. So I think for me, like I really like Lopez. I wanna go in tournaments. I'm definitely gonna throw IT2 in there. If he starts or doesn't, it doesn't matter. I think he's priced accordingly. I still think Josh Hart's in play at 5,300. I definitely like that. Um, and I think Kuzma. I like Kuzma a little bit. I think Julius Randle's kind of priced accordingly. He's at 7,000, so I don't think there's a lot of value left in him. But I still think Kuzma's is an okay play tomorrow. And then on the Dallas side, um, let's see what I like here. I like Dennis Smith Jr. 6,600 against the Lakers. Sign me up. Point guards against the Lakers. I'm not really worried about it. I definitely would go there. I like that a lot. And then I'd go Old Man Dirk tomorrow, 5,200. I like that. He had a big game, last game out. He's a good player. He still can shoot the ball, so I like that. And then JJ Barea only got a $300 increase. With Harris gone, he's definitely going to get a lot of run. And if you really want to take a flyer on someone that's cheap that is going to get blowout run if there is a blowout, and he gets minutes regardless, Yogi Ferrell's only 4,300 tomorrow. He's not the greatest on this team. He's really shot dependent and he's hit or miss. But if you think this game isn't going to stay close, he might be a guy you want to look at on DraftKings. He's pretty cheap.
All right. FanDuel it.
So here over there on FanDuel, let's see here. Yogi Ferrell's just way too cheap here. He's 3,900 on FanDuel. I think he's firmly in play tomorrow. I think I like JJ Barea at 5,200. I think he's definitely in play tomorrow. We talked about centers. Brook Lopez, 5,600. I mean, you could definitely go there. I think there's enough value within his price where he can perform pretty well here. The only problem we have on FanDuel is that do you want to lock your center in with Brook Lopez? I mean, on FanDuel's a little tougher. DraftKings, you have the two spots with the utility. You can play two. So for me, I don't know if I would go there, but I could see the merit in playing him at center. And I think Brandon Ingram's okay at 7,100. That's it for me. Josh Hart is just way too expensive. It's 6,600 on FanDuel. I can't touch that. And that's it for me in this game.
Okay, so FanDuel's got 3 point guards for Dallas. Who would you play,
Yes.
Smith, Farrell, or Barea?
On FanDuel, like I would prefer to go to Smith if I can afford him. He's a little bit more expensive. He's $500 more expensive. He's $500 more than on DraftKings. So he's a great player, though. I like him. I think that he's got the most opportunity. And then I would go in the cheap with Farrell. He's at 3,900. And then I would go to Barea.
All right, let's finish off with the last game of the night. We got the Nuggets. Big old juicy sticky nuggets. I like those nugs, those sticky nugs. You know, the ones that's like it's stick and they just stick to your hands. Those kind of nugs.
Are you talking about like food porn right now? Are you having like a food porn moment?
No,
or are you talking about something else?
No. I'm talking about nugs, buddy.
Okay.
Nugs.
You're talking about some kind. Yeah,
icky.
Okay.
Real sticky, icky. Ooh wee.
Yeah, you're talking about the green porn.
The green.
Yeah,
Dr. Green Thumb. Anyways, traveling to Phoenix to take on the Suns. What do you got in this game? I feel like you like this game.
I do like this game. If I'm just worried about some pieces not playing here that can cause this game to be a blowout. But Denver's a 7-point favorite. It's in Phoenix. The total's 219. Out of the totals that we have right now, it's the highest. So it's in Phoenix, which means that Phoenix typically keeps games closer in Phoenix. So that's an advantage that we have here. So we'll go ahead and attack the Denver side first. So firmly in play is Jokic. On DraftKings, like you just gotta lock him in your lineups tomorrow. Like he would be my preferred play on DraftKings. Like the great thing you have is you have 2 center spots with utility and the center. So I definitely would throw him in there. It doesn't look like Booker's gonna play tomorrow. He was limited in practice today. He's probably not going to play this game, so I really like this price at 7,500. But if we do get news that he's going to play, I would just lock him in. He's too cheap. I also think on the Denver side, at 6,800, Will Barton, he's just a little overpriced now for me for what he's able to do. I would definitely fade him tomorrow. Alfred Payton, $600 on the Phoenix side tomorrow. I think it's a little expensive. I don't think we know what his role is going to be yet. I don't think we want to go there. You could take a chance on him in GPP, but I don't know if I could go there tomorrow. Even though the matchup is a pretty decent matchup for him. Jamal Murray, for me, he's an okay GPP play, but 6,500, he's a little expensive for where I would want to go tomorrow. I'd prefer to go to Gary Harris. Gary Harris just more of a lock and load for me. Then you got, you have to really make a decision over here on the Phoenix side if you want, TJ Warren or Jackson. I prefer Jackson. Jackson's cheaper, and he's been playing more consistent lately, so I definitely like that. And then don't sleep on Trey Lyles tomorrow. We got a price decrease at $5,000. I definitely think he's in play. And the great thing with him is if it is a blowout, he gets blowout minutes. So he's definitely in play tomorrow. And then, you just got to – I would pick and choose if you're going to stack this game, pick and choose between either Bender or Chris, whoever you think's going to have a better game and get the minutes. Those guys can definitely do something tomorrow. And then the last play on the Phoenix side, Josh Gray, point guard here. I think that he's definitely in play. I think that he's going to take Ulis's role away. I don't think Ulis is going to play tomorrow. He's got a questionable tag here. And Gray will get the blowout minutes as well. So I definitely think he's in play tomorrow. So I think really for me on the Denver side, I'm really looking at Jokic. He's my preferred play. And then I would go to Harris would be my second play. And then I would go to Lyles would be my third favorite play. And then on the Phoenix side, I really, really like Josh Jackson tomorrow, 5,800. He's my favorite play here on this side. And then I would probably take a stab here at Josh Gray, and then maybe like a Chris on DraftKings.
All right. Our boy Paulie D says Elf and Chris are must plays tomorrow. That's what Paulie D says. He says Elf goes for 50 tomorrow. That's what Paulie D just said. He just texted me that right now, Nation. He just texted me that. And he said Marquise Chris is a lock tomorrow. What do you think about that?
I don't know if they're going to give him that many minutes, though. Like Phoenix, they don't have to. They have their, the only guy that's really out is Booker. Ulis is questionable. They really like this Josh Gray guy. Josh Gray might even start tomorrow. They might work Elf in slow. He hasn't practiced with him yet. So, I would be really careful with that one. If we get announcement that he's going to start tomorrow, then I think he's in play. But I think 50 tomorrow is a big number. I'll be honest with you for him, for Elf. I can see him doing it like the FU, but yeah. Let's look at him here on FanDuel because maybe he's better priced here.
He's $7K on FanDuel.
That's a better price for him on FanDuel than on DraftKings, to be honest with you, because of the salary caps. I'd be more in line to play him on FanDuel than I would on DraftKings. He's cheaper than Barton and Murray and Warren. He's the same price. So I would definitely, if I was going to play him, I'd play him on FanDuel over DraftKings for sure. I really like Jokic still here. He's a little bit more expensive. He's $600 more expensive on FanDuel. You don't have to lock and load him over here on FanDuel again because you have the one center, but I still like him a lot. I think on DraftKings he's your play. And then going down a little cheaper here, Josh Jackson, 6,300. I think that's about his cap. I don't really see a lot more value in him tomorrow, so he's a fringe play for me tomorrow. Trey Lyles, same thing as a fringe play. It's not like I have to lock him in. Price is kind of expensive there. I love Marquise's price here on FanDuel, though. 5,000. I think he's a great play. Josh Gray is not in play for me on FanDuel tomorrow. He's 4,500. I like him a lot better at DraftKings. He's in the mid threes. And then I think let's see what else we got here. I think that's it. I can see why Paulie likes both Chris and Peyton. I think they're good plays on FanDuel based on pricing. I think Chris is a really good play on DraftKings, but on FanDuel he's a much better play. And Jackson would be it for me. So really, I would go. I'd probably go Chris as my number one play here, and then I would go Jackson, and then Elf, and then Jokic in that order of my favorite plays.
All right. That will finish us up with the game by game. Now we're just gonna go. This isn't site specific now. I just want your top three at each position. All right.
Yeah.
And then we got some questions and we're gonna get out of here.
Perfect.
Let's go point guards. What you got? Top three.
Let's see. So I'm gonna go with Mac. The Mac attack tomorrow. Get you some value at 4,000 on FanDuel and 4,100 on DraftKings. And then I'm going to go to Dennis Smith Jr. He's 66 on DraftKings and 71 on FanDuel, so I like those two plays.
Mm-hmm.
And then on DraftKings, I would go. This is a DraftKings specific play. I would go to Rivers, and then on FanDuel, I would go as my third. I would go to Peyton.
All right. Shooting guard, which is gross tomorrow.
Always is. That's a great thing with DraftKings is you can slide people over, so it's from their point guards too. So I think here I'm going to start with, on DraftKings, we'll start there. I'm going to go to Justin Holiday. He's 4,800 tomorrow on DraftKings. I like him a lot. Ginobili tomorrow. He's shooting guard, small forward. He's 39 on DraftKings. He's cheap on FanDuel as well, so I think he's definitely a great play. And then we're going to go to IT2, who is point guard and shooting guard eligible on DraftKings. And then my play on FanDuel at shooting guard, it's a FanDuel only play. Let's see here. That's not very good. Avery Bradley, 4,600.
Maybe Bradley. All right. Let's move on to small forwards.
Yeah, so it's small forwards. All right, I'm gonna go on DraftKings. He's too cheap, 5,000 for Trey Lyles. I definitely think he's in play tomorrow. Kyle Anderson at 46 on DraftKings. He's also shooting guard eligible. And we're going to take a shot on Bertans tomorrow. He's cheap too. So I like that. And then let me check FanDuel real quick. And the bonus player on FanDuel. I would say Robert Covington tomorrow. I like him a lot at 5,700.
Interesting. Robert Covington. All right. Let's move on to power forward.
So yeah, power forward here tomorrow. If Embiid's out, Sark would be my number one, hands down. And then I would go to Kyle Kuzma's too cheap. He's 5,500 on DraftKings. I like that a lot. And then I'm going to tire here on DraftKings at 5,200. Dirk tomorrow is just good play against the Lakers. I like that a lot. And I'll give you one just FanDuel play here. And it's got to be Chris. Marquise Chris, FanDuel, $5,000 tomorrow. I think you got to lock him in.
All right.
We got centers left.
This center.
Yeah, so center here on DraftKings, Jokic, you got to lock him in, 93. On FanDuel, it's definitely a conversation. Number 1, and then for me, number 2 is going to be Brook Lopez, and then Bismack Biyombo on DraftKings. And then let me just take a look here at the centers on FanDuel. And then on FanDuel, I like Gortat at 4,700. I think you can play him definitely in FanDuel tomorrow.
All right. Let's give you my my lineup, which I have a ton of money left over, so we want to probably upgrade somewhere. But this is what I have so far. Shelvin Mack, Alfred Payton, Lou Williams, and Justin Holiday. Robert Covington, Brandon Ingram, Dario Saric, Marquise Chris, and Jokic.
I like it.
I got 1,600 left over, though.
Yeah, I would look to upgrade maybe at point guard. You had or your 2 point guard.
Mack and Payton.
It's like a 56.
Somebody like, there's nobody really around that Austin Rivers, but that's not even no. So yeah, that's why it was weird. Like in the small forward position, you're either going to pay up or you're paying down. There's not you're not paying. You said don't pay for Giannis, so Durant's 10-5. I guess you could, but
Yeah, I mean, I would say when we're doing the first look, as we're going game by game, Giannis again 11-5. He's the unicorn here. He's the most expensive guy to pay for. I mean, if you like your build, if you like this game, this Orlando Milwaukee game, you can definitely play him. I really don't like to play on DraftKings because it really prohibits your lineup because I like some other plays there. But where were you at in small forward? What were your 2 small forwards that you had?
2 small forwards is Covington and Ingram. Yeah, I mean, you'd have to really go down some more. So, anyways, though, that's just a first look. Let me see if we have. Let's see. You got a good. It says Greek and Cash have got to get together more on here more often. The knowledge they drop is ridiculous. That's from Randy. Wanted you to know that, Johnny.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Let's see. I don't really see too many. There's not really.
And I agree. I love cashing, man. We miss you tonight, buddy.
Yeah, and guys, be sure. If you're in the chat, buy a day pass. We got content on the weekends, so that is always interesting. You got Paul's cheat sheets. We got Y streams on Saturdays and Sundays. Sunday mornings, you can have a cup of coffee with Paulie D and CK. One of these days, CK is going to do a show with his hair down. We're going to catch him, and it's going to be great. Anyways, though, we thank you guys for joining us. I'm going to be texting our producer right now to make sure that he is with us because I always seem to forget that. Let's see. We are almost done. So what's the game stack? What's like your favorite game stack if you were doing a game stack?
I think the games that are going to be popular because of on site specific, I would say on FanDuel, you're definitely going to see a lot of guys stacking the San Antonio Golden State game. And then I think that the Laker-Dallas game, those are going to be really popular. And then, you also have the Denver-Phoenix game. Those are probably the most popular. On DraftKings, you're going to have a lot of different build because you're really searching for value over there. You have pieces here on the Orlando side that are really cheap. And then you have Clipper game, really cheap plays too. So that's where you're kind of looking for the cheap plays and then mixing in some plays on San Antonio. Golden State is just really, really priced well for what situation they're in tomorrow. So I really don't like those guys. I really want the value on San Antonio. And then the Laker-Dallas game, it's very easy to stack. Everybody's not really underpriced, but Julius Randle tomorrow ends. I think you can go ahead and stack that up. And then the Phoenix Denver game. I mean, I'm really looking at this tomorrow on DraftKings from a 4-game slate. To be honest with you, I'm really going to go after these Laker-Dallas game, Denver Phoenix. Those are probably my 2 favorite, and then just some value from the Milwaukee and the San Antonio side of games.
For sure. And that's the for sure play of the day. All right. So, guys, that's going to do it. Be sure to like us on YouTube. Be sure to do us all those good comments on Podbean. And, of course, iTunes. It really, we really appreciate going up those charts. And be sure to join us. Cash will be back, I'm pretty sure, for Monday slate. So Sunday night, Cash will be back going over. Let's see. Would you spend that's tomorrow since 2 of the games you don't like? All right, Randy, do you mean your bankroll? How much you're gonna play, or the question is would spend less tomorrow since 2 of the games you don't like? Is he meaning his bankroll? Like you don't want to play as much, or does he mean leave money on the table?
I think he was asking, like, I think what I'm getting at is, do you play with less money tomorrow? And I'd say no. It's a 6-game slate. I'm just breaking it down as less games for me. There's certain games I just don't want to target. I don't want to play because they're just not appealing to me based on pricing. Like I'm still an old school DFS guy where I look for mispricing. That's what I'm looking for. So sometimes I'll get in arguments with guys when the guy's high priced. Yeah, he can have a ceiling game 1 out of 5 games where he's going to get to 70 points at $9,000, but I still don't think he's a good play. So I'm still kind of old school when it comes to that. I'm really looking for that mispriced value plays, discounts.
Okay, yeah, he's saying bankroll. Yeah, you can play your same bankroll tomorrow.
Sure.
One other question, and I think this is day specific. I can answer this in my opinion. This is basically just a theory. Is it better to play 50-50 games or tourneys? I think tomorrow, circling the fact that you don't like 2 of the games, I wouldn't play that much cash tomorrow. I'd only play tourneys. Because I think that everybody's going to be on the same cash plays, and it's going to be 2 versus 2 or 3 versus 3s. On 6-game slates or below, even in baseball, I don't really like playing that much cash. I like just playing GBPs then. Do you agree, Johnny?
I will say this. Like, I think that you can cash games for me is viable every night. I think you can play it either on 2-game slates. I do that because there's an edge. Because what you're doing is when you're playing cash games in basketball, you're hoping for somebody to make a mistake. So as long as you understand pricing and if a guy's priced fair or not, you should be okay to play cash games. If you're trying to play cash games as a tournament and you're throwing your cash into tournament, like a tournament lineup into cash, I don't think that's the right approach to do that. So if you're a 1-game, 1 lineup kind of guy, I would tell you to do this. This is what I would tell you. If you like tournaments and you're a 1-game person, 1 kind of lineup person, you don't want to run a lot of lineups tomorrow, don't run them in cash. If you're a GPP guy, run them into the single entries. Do that where you have the same chance as a shark to win money. When you're trying to go and enter 1 lineup, that's what your plan is tomorrow, or run less money into these tournaments, you're just hurting your upside. You're giving yourself no outs. So if you're going to give yourself no outs and you're only going to run 1 lineup anyways, or you're going to limit your play, just play single entries tomorrow. That's what I would tell you, because you have the same chance as I do to win with a single entry.
Yes. And finally, which games do you think will be blowouts?
I'm really afraid of this Golden State San Antonio game. Like, the line's telling me it's going to be a blowout or somebody's going to get popped on the San Antonio side. 11 points against San Antonio, like, you don't see that.
All right.
And then the way this Golden State game has been playing, they've been playing like dog shit. Like, honestly, like, sorry my language, but they've been playing horrible. I think they're not blowing anybody out here. I can't see this. Like, there's something fishy with this line. So I'd be really careful with that game.
All right, guys, that's going to do it for the YouTube NBA Wise stream for February 10th, 2018. Be sure to join us for the members. Be sure to join us tomorrow, 2:30 for the Wise stream. I think Paulie D will be on there, maybe with you or Cash or whatever.
See me tomorrow.
Yeah. All right, great.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, guys, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for joining us. And so for Johnny the Greek, I am Patio Joe. And as our boy CK says, good luck. Good luck. We're out.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Steve, are you there?